Welcome to the DLT Veritas 360 Approach webinar, part 1 of 2. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Teresa Gardner, and I'm a sales manager for DLT. We have teamed up with Veritas to develop the 360 Data Management for Govies ebook, which provides advice, knowledge, and clarity to address data management challenges and fast-track digital transformation. Today we will be going over the first 2 chapters of the ebook. Chapter 1 will be discussing the data clutter problem, and Chapter 2 taking the 360 approach to your information with Veritas Solutions. Please feel free to visit the link on the bottom of this slide to access the ebook, which is available for download at no cost. Chapter 1, the problem, data clutter. Firstly, is data visibility. You need visibility into your data regardless of where it is. Why is this important? Well, one obvious reason is to avoid unnecessary storage spend. Another is so you can actually maximize its value. It is critical to know what you have so you can keep and eventually monetize what you need. Let me boldly say that if you do not gain visibility into your data, you're likely to incur an extra $10 billion of storage spend over the next 10 years. This is just a quick glance at the exponential difference in storage spend that enterprises will likely incur if they're not careful with how they store and manage their data. In 2016, Veritas published the inaugural Data Genomics Index. This report references a 7 petabyte sample of enterprise unstructured data which spreads across industries and geographies. Based on that research, Veritas derived a real data growth rate of 39%. Veritas is about to publish the 2017 version of this index, and guess what? Data growth has accelerated to 49%, a 25% increase over the previous year. We modeled this out using Gartner's all-in cost of storing and managing 1 petabyte of enterprise data in 2016. According to Gartner, this number is $1.6 million. We assumed that the cost of storing a petabyte of data would continue to decrease over time, so we used a 25% figure to decrease the cost of storing and managing 1 petabyte from $1.6 million in 2016 to $90,000 by 2026. We then applied different accelerators to the starting 39% data growth rate to look at the increased storage spend an enterprise would likely endure. This is assuming the rate of data growth continues to climb. So if the rate of data growth was to accelerate by 5% each year for the next 5 years, an average enterprise with 10 petabytes of data today would incur an additional $100 million in storage spend over the next 10 years. If the rate accelerated by 10% each year, that becomes $330 million. 15% becomes $960 million, and 25% is $10 billion. Now that 25% number is significant because, as I mentioned earlier, that's exactly what happened between 2016 and 2017. We assume all data is valuable forever. This situation is unsustainable. We are creating and relying on more and more data at accelerated rates. Some have expressed that data is the new oil. It'll make us rich, and we need to harness its power. But not all data is created equal. The trouble is, we hold on to everything, forever. Saving data forever actually impedes our ability to capitalize on what's truly valuable. So why don't we treat data like it truly is the new oil? Oil is refined into usable components. Data is just hoarded. According to the DGI 2016, 41% of the typical enterprise hoard of unstructured data has not been modified in 3 years. According to the Databerg Report 2016, 33% of that data stored is redundant, obsolete, or trivial, also known as rot, and 52% is dark data, meaning we have no clue what it is. According to the Data Hoarding Report 2016, enterprises are storing things like unencrypted company secrets, embarrassing correspondence, and sexually explicit material. What is mission-critical data? To understand the nuances of the data your agency has in its vaults, it's important to understand that the data falls into 3 categories. Number 1, clean data. This is the data you use most often. It could be recent email, databases that are constantly in use, or files that are accessed and updated throughout the business day. Typically, it's also the newest data. Bottom line, your clean data is also your most critical. Number 2, rot data. For example, mass emails, spam, or a former employee's data. And number 3, dark data. This is data for which no one really knows who the owner is, whether it is agency relevant or not, yet can take up expensive disk space. But dark data may still be subject to compliance requirements, which could require that information to be subject to retention rules and archived accordingly. Tagging your data and neatly arranging it into these 3 categories is easier said than done. Likewise, doing so doesn't always solve the clutter problem or help you define what's most critical. For example, if your data hasn't been touched for 90+ days, does this mean it isn't critical? It could be the data that makes your agency function. What about the data you don't even know about? Is it needed? Could there be a less expensive way of storing and managing your less critical data, yet still make it accessible to those who need it? The challenge of restoring order to your data. Rather than save all data, agencies must figure out a way to manage data appropriately, so their most important asset doesn't become a costly burden. But here's another problem. Data management tools and policies were developed to treat all data the same. There simply hasn't been a way to classify and organize data from many different sources, whether it's in email, file servers, databases, on-premise, or in the cloud. In addition, different stakeholders sometimes have different rules on what data should be kept, creating confusion and headaches for IT. In the past, as data grew, organizations simply threw more storage at their data management problem. This is problematic for a number of reasons. Firstly, it limits data availability. It's an approach that struggles to keep up with agency demands for constant access to data and applications. Productivity takes a hit when agencies and organizations experience downtime. And secondly, it incurs data loss. Agencies also run the risk of losing information when downtime occurs. Too often they rely on rudimentary backup and recovery approaches. This defensible deletion approach to data management hinges on 3 principles. 1, that data and information aren't the same and shouldn't be treated as such. High-value data must be stored and retrieved easily for quick recovery. Number 2, more data doesn't mean more value. And number 3, information is more important than infrastructure. Agencies can't afford to waste their resources spending on infrastructure to store data they don't need. Hoarding data introduces compliance and security risks. Similarly, agencies must strive for compliance and security. Properly maintained data requires less searching and gathering by staff and less review by counsel. An improved information governance policy means agencies keep less data. It's unsustainable. Holding on to data can cost taxpayer money. Offloading to the cloud doesn't take care of the problem either. It just moves the data and its associated management costs to another home. Another approach is to tier your agency's data, ranking its value and storing accordingly. It's a logical approach that recognizes that not all data is created equal. However, it still encourages hoarding and fragmentation, or data dispersion across applications, data centers, and clouds. Hanging on to data is not a strategy that makes economic sense. Why hang on to rot that provides no value? With unsustainable data growth, poor data habits, hoarding behavior, and more locations for data to exist, how do we do things like know what data we actually have, ensure we're moving the right data to the cloud, and that we're not increasing our risk exposure in the process? Migrate data between on-prem and clouds to optimize for things like cost, but also ensure that the end state in storage actually becomes the beginning state for analytics. Avoid being locked into any one vendor's platform. Ensure compliance to a plethora of new and changing regulations around data privacy and security. Avoid extended downtime periods resulting from cloud outages and ensure your business systems and critical applications are up and running. Migrate apps to the cloud without having to completely rebuild them, while also ensuring they're performing the way they're expected to. Ensure all of your data, regardless of where it lives, is protected, recoverable, and stored optimally. I will now discuss how to handle these situations in Chapter 2 using the Veritas 360 approach. Chapter 2. Take a 360 approach to your information. At Veritas, we focus on the data and workloads that make up your business, not the infrastructure it runs on. That means all of the important capabilities you require are in place, no matter where you are in your multi-cloud journey. With our 360 approach to data management, you can expect things like data visibility, gain granular understanding of the entire unstructured data landscape, data protection, ensure data recoverability for any workload, enable self-service access to virtual copies, data workload portability, ensure freedom of data workload movement and migration across locations and platforms, storage optimization, boost performance, scalability, and availability across any storage while dramatically reducing costs. Business continuity. Minimize interruptions with one-click failover to any environment. Compliance readiness. Prove regulatory compliance, automate archiving, and respond to e-discovery matters, and the ability to leverage metadata to classify what you have, inform policies, and to improve other critical functions. Now, this is not just a collection of things that we can do. Rather, it's designed to meet very specific challenges any enterprise faces as they make their way through the multi-cloud world. Veritas Data Insight helps organizations improve unstructured data governance by giving you the analytics, tracking, and reporting necessary to deliver organizational accountability for file use and security. It's designed to manage the needs of organizations with petabytes of data and billions of files. Data Insight integrates with archiving and security solutions to prevent loss and ensure policy-based retention. The reporting, analytics, and visualization capabilities in Data Insight shine a light on the data by giving organizations an understanding of what exists, how it is being used, who owns it, and who has access to it. Veritas Enterprise Vault simplifies the task of archiving unstructured data. As an IT professional, you are challenged with identifying mission-critical information and determining what to do with it. Should you keep it or delete it? What retention policy should you apply to it? How do you maintain end-user and administrative access to it? Is there a way to automate all of this without increasing infrastructure overhead? The government must comply with all forms of data retention requirements, including internal audits, HR requests, compliance supervision, and legal cases. Archiving to a central repository helps you to be more proactive and prepared when it comes to searching and e-discovery because it's not a matter of if, but a matter of when. As the most widely deployed archiving solution in the market with over 10 years of experience, Veritas Enterprise Vault has enabled tens of thousands of customers to better store, manage, and discover their email and electronic files. Why archive? Archiving is not backup. Instead, data archiving involves moving data to lower-cost primary storage. Archive data consumes less costly storage with the added benefit that your backups are more efficient, as you must still back up archive data. Plus, with less data to scan for changes, archiving provides the added benefit of increasing the performance of your backups. Enterprise Vault also helps with classification to retain only meaningful information for the organization, retain information efficiently, and delete at the end of a useful life cycle, supervise email to help ensure compliance with regulatory bodies, search and discover information efficiently to help reduce discovery costs. Veritas Information Map provides an immersive visual experience that lets you gain insight into your unstructured data. Easily identify areas of risk, areas of value, areas of waste, and areas of further interest. You'll also reduce the unnecessary costs of useless data storage and prioritize heightened risk areas for further investigation. Veritas eDiscovery Platform is the leading enterprise eDiscovery solution that enables governments to manage legal, regulatory, and investigative matters using a single application. The Veritas eDiscovery platform was purpose-built for eDiscovery, making it easy for organizations to defensively solve real-world challenges across the entire eDiscovery lifecycle, from legal hold and collections through analysis, review, and production. Veritas Access enables organizations to easily manage data access regardless of where it resides, on-premises, off-premises, or in the cloud, with resulting application performance, cost-effectiveness, and scalability gains. Veritas Access is a scale-out NAS software-defined storage with key benefits to include meeting unstructured data performance needs, policy-driven data management, seamlessly move data to and from the cloud, and cost-effective long-term data retention. Veritas InfoScale Enterprise helps your IT teams realize ever more reliable and always-on modes of operations coupled with reduced downtime across your physical, virtual, and cloud infrastructures, ensuring that your IT operations perform at their highest levels. With InfoScale, IT teams can protect existing storage investments without needing to rip and replace, keep your storage environment up 24/7 with industry-leading clustering technology, cost-effectively protect mission-critical apps that require zero downtime, use the cloud as an additional storage tier and cloud recovery target, all with simplified and easy administration. Veritas Resiliency Platform helps ensure proactive resiliency for applications across your constantly evolving heterogeneous environments, with a single solution covering physical, virtual, and cloud while reducing operational costs. Resiliency Platform ensures predictability and tracks business applications' health to availability service level objectives such as RTOs and RPOs. Proactively move applications across sites or to the cloud as required. Automate recovery run books, including site evacuation and start-stop recovery orchestration for multi-tier applications. Ensure compliance with business continuity mandates via audit reports and non-disruptive recovery rehearsals. Veritas Net Backup provides a unified data protection on a converged platform. Unified data protection is the only way your IT organization can deliver required service levels while limiting cost and risk, regardless of whether data resides on premises or in the cloud. Net Backup delivers breakthrough capabilities for virtualized and cloud-based deployments that go well beyond what traditional backup practices can achieve. Net Backup supports a vast array of environments and integrates with every layer of the infrastructure stack to unify your entire data protection strategy. Veritas Backup Exec helps you exceed expectations for data recovery, reduce storage costs, secure confidential data, achieve regulatory requirements, and eliminate niche backup tools for your small to mid-size infrastructure. Backup Exec delivers powerful, flexible, and trusted data protection designed for your entire infrastructure regardless of platform. With Backup Exec, you get fast, reliable protection of data in systems at every level, as well as advanced integration with the most recent releases of Microsoft Server, Microsoft Hyper-V, and VMware vSphere. In a matter of minutes, you can recover anything including VMs, servers, databases, files, and granular application objects. Protect 1 to thousands of virtual machines from a single user console, optimizing performance and efficiency. Backup Exec saves time, money, and helps ensure your critical information is always protected and easily recoverable. Thank you for viewing Part 1 of DLT Veritas' two-part webinar series on the 360 approach to data management. Part 2 of this webinar series is available immediately for your viewing. If you have any questions or are interested in learning more about Veritas and its products, please feel free to call or email the contacts listed on the slide. If you found this information beneficial and believe a colleague would benefit from viewing this webinar, we would appreciate your passing along the webinar link or DLT Veritas' contact information. We greatly appreciate your time and your business. Thank you for attending today's webinar and have a great day.